Delighted to have Ray Houghton, ex-Liverpool legend, Irish international player, football player, here to improve your short game today. We did a bit a couple of years ago, haven't we, Ray? But if you can just tell me a little bit about your short game, your history, and where you are today, that would be useful before we get started.
When you give me that lesson, it was good, but at the moment it's dreadful. I mean, it's not just in and around. If you miss a green, in and around the green, I think one of the biggest ones that I find is when I'm playing a par 5 at the moment, I'm getting in and around the greens for 2. And I'm either walking off with a 6 or a 5. And I'm taking 3 or 4 shots from about 30 yards because I've got no control. I've got no real knowledge of where to pitch it, how to stop it. I don't know if it's going to go in high, it's going to go in low, it's going to skip. So
you're getting totally inconsistent strike, flights, spin control.
I just haven't got a clue, and it hurts your game in the end because you think you're playing really well. Sometimes I'm hitting 12, 13 greens in regulation, but I'm still coming off.
It's really frustrating, isn't it?
That's frustrating. That's the frustrating.
You're not really shooting the lowest score you possibly can, obviously. Now, you were just saying we're going to go to this back pin first. We're going to work on a low chip and run shot, the basic shot. And the first thing you said to me was, "I've no idea what club to use. I've no idea how the ball's going to react," which tells the story in itself, doesn't it?
Yes.
So, what have you got in your hand there?
Well, I asked you because I've got 54. I mean, from here, I might even use a 9-iron or an 8-iron just to get it on the green and later.
We've got about probably 17, 18 yards, haven't we? And it's slightly downhill, it's quick. I quite like 54. I think 54 is a shot given the conditions we've got, where the green's pretty quick. So let's have a look, see what's going on. So, are you getting any pattern at all? Is it like heavy, thin, or
bad?
Totally mixed?
No, honestly, I'm telling you,
it's all over the place.
It could be anything. I mean, I could actually do anything from this area, this part of the green.
Okay.
Yeah, just off the green. Yeah.
Okay. Right, let's go down to the pin. There you go. It's working already, Ray.
Hey,
working already. I just got to stand in front of you.
That's all that is.
Have a few more. You've got great hands, Ray. What are you playing off? What's the handicap these days?
I play off 3.4.
3.4, so good playing. You played for many years.
Yep.
There's the thin one, yeah?
Yeah, Gira.
Yeah.
So that's where I don't commit to the strike.
Go on, 2 more. Okay, go on, 1 more. Okay, good. Right, stand this side for me, Ray. Right, you've hit some decent shots there, actually. I mean, you've got great hands and you're a good player. So you will always manage to sort of find a way, but I think under pressure, I can see where the faults are going to come in and what the shots you're going to get, particularly when you get, say, when you've got that card in your hand. Now, what's happening here is, if you think about the swing plane, this is the perfect plane in the backswing here. Okay, that's on plane.
Yeah.
This would be above the plane.
Yeah.
And this would be below the plane.
Yeah.
And you're definitely the latter here. Yeah. You're quite a long way inside. The good news is you've got good hands. You've got golf in your blood. I can sort of see that quite clearly. So you're rolling in here and you're having to work that hand to fix it. So you look a bit like this. You see?
Yeah.
And you can hit some good shots, but it's hard to control. It's very easy to hit behind the ball, and you had a few that you've done that, but the bounce has kind of saved you, and you've had a few thin also because your swing path is basically too far to the right. You haven't to work your hands too much. So the reason you're tending to get that underplane move about you and a very handsy takeaway is because you've got your hands in a very low position down here, and I'm a big believer in how you set the wrists at address will really dictate the swing. So for this shot here, which is what I call a chip and run release 1 shot, you don't really want the wrist involved too much at all. I don't mind a bit of gentle movement with the wrist if you're gripping it soft enough, but really you don't want to be getting in here with the wrist. So if you get the hands higher, if we simply make this change, if we get the forearm bone to the top of the thumb dead flat here, so you're going to basically get the handle higher and coming a bit closer, straight away it's going to be harder for you to use your wrist and roll it inside. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you're like this at the moment.
Yeah.
And we've got to get you more this way. And then we've got to just get you a bit more aware about what ignites the swing, like which muscles start the swing.
Yeah.
And for you, it's your hands that start the swing, without any doubt. And we need to get the feeling like it's the shoulder, left shoulder, pushing away, and that right hip turning more. And then from there, with your hands and your touch for short game and golf in general, you're going to be great. But you are just having to fix and manipulate so much from where you are at the moment. Whereas when we get you in this position here, it's going to be really difficult for you to hit a bad shot because you've got no hands involved. From that position there, you just open that chest up through the ball, and you just get that slightly lower, kind of more running flight as well, whereas yours are going a bit higher, aren't they, at the moment? See, I'd like your club to be more like that.
Yep.
Almost for you, feel like the heel's a little bit off the ground.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And you can see that now is dead flat.
Yep. All right. So like not
You're
like
normally
that.
there. Basically, it's this angle here I don't
Yeah.
want.
Uh-huh.
If you want to hit it higher,
Yeah.
or bunker shots, yes, let's get it like that.
Okay.
Absolutely. But for this shot, we want it like that.
Right. Okay.
Your left foot.
Feels really awkward to me already.
I like the fact it's awkward. That's good. It
okay.
means we changed it.
All
That's
right.
good. Right. Left foot's got to flare out a little bit more as well. That's perfect. Listen, come in a little bit. Do you feel like you're standing close to the ball now?
Yep. Very much so. I feel like I'm over the ball.
That's a lot better. That looks great. Okay, that's great.
Like,
Right.
now. Even from here, I want to move it with my hands now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, you've got some awareness now, which is fantastic.
yeah.
So, so at the moment, you do this, you roll,
Yeah.
and it gets in here,
Yeah.
which means you've then got to do this.
Yes. Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, you actually did that quite well in the warm-up there. You did it quite well, but if we'd have kept going and we'd have put a bit of pressure on it, I think we'd have got some different results.
Okay.
So we've got to make it a bit more bulletproof, okay? We've got to get it more there,
Yeah.
and then from there, it can go this way. Does that feel like you've got less hands involved?
For me, that feels really like.
It's going to feel really out to you.
I think I'm gonna whiff it this way.
Yeah,
It feels
okay. It will. Right, now from there, then you use the chest and the left shoulders open up this way. And I'll do it with you to begin with.
Yeah. Okay.
But really, the thing which you really get awareness of is this part of the shoulder here that starts to swing. You've got to feel like you're switching these off.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
come back to the ball. So this would be the feeling. Here we go. Yeah, that's super. There you go. So it's
Oh
like
my
you push the shoulder. Yeah. And then from there we go like this and we go through, don't we? But yeah, that's fine. There you go. Look at that.
Don't go in.
Right, let's do a few with me moving. That worked well.
Yeah.
So don't worry about the result. We're just going to just really get.
I'm trying to get that wrist
You're going to
straight.
sort this out, and don't get too rigid as well.
Yeah,
You've got to be
yeah.
quite relaxed. I know it's difficult. You've got to,
Yeah.
I'm asking you to get higher, but you've also got to get softer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But come in as close as you can. Open the chest up. Very, very simple movement.
Yeah.
Very simple movement. Right, on your own. Good. Good. That looks totally different in the backswing now.
I still feel like I want to move it with my hands.
Good. Needs a little bit more rotation onto it. So if you don't turn your chest through the ball, you'll stall out,
Stall out,
and it will
yeah.
go that way a bit, and it'll start going a bit higher than you want.
Just flare the left.
Yeah, that's important. Here we go. Shoulder starts. Shoulder. I think you slightly started out with your hands. I just missed it.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
a bit late.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to start this one. That was better. That was lovely. There you go. That was so repeatable.
Yeah.
That's what you want. Just do it all like 100 times out of 100, you know? Yeah?
It feels like you've got to do more. That's the
I
thing
know.
when you're
Golf
playing.
can't be that simple, right?
Yeah, you think you've got to do more. There's got to be something more.
Drill wise for you, right? This would be a great drill. Set up the ball.
Yeah.
Take your right hand totally off the club. Now, just take it away to where you think the top of the backswing normally. Now that's interesting. Look how nicely you've done that. You feel that is perfect.
Is it?
That is the perfect position.
Is it?
Can you see how the shaft is an extension of your arm?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I haven't asked you to do that. I just said to take away your left hand, and
Yeah.
you've done that because you've taken your right hand off. You've got to support the weight
Yeah, I can
of
feel
the
it.
club head with your arm, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if I do your old backswing, if I put the club where it normally would be for you, right? How does that
geez.
feel?
That feels really awkward.
Yeah. Does it feel heavy, the club head?
Yeah.
And you're probably struggling. The wrist probably hurting a bit.
Yeah, it has, yeah.
But if I go like that,
Yeah, that's fine.
it's fine.
Yeah. No.
Just looked a bit rigid there. Just
Yeah.
soften your arms a bit, yeah? That's it. Shoulder, chest. Beautiful. And see, that's a beautiful
Yeah,
shot.
I could see the spin on it.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. Now, what you're starting to do is actually get your ball going through this imaginary window.
Yeah.
Whereas at the beginning, it was a bit
Bit too high.
okay. And then you said at the beginning as well, you said, I'm not sure how much it's going to run. Well, when people say that to me, that tells me that the ball flight's all over the place.
Yeah.
And these amazing players, we were talking about the Open yesterday, all these amazing players, the reason their feel and their touch is so good is just simply because they've got great technique. So they get consistency over the launch of the ball, so the same window every time, the same spin and the same ball speed. And then your instinct just automatically feels the shot.
Yeah.
So feel for me is totally a byproduct of technique. You know, people say you've got to work on a feel. If you start getting the ball coming off the same every time, you're going to feel it, aren't you?
So if you were coaching just anyone,
Yep.
regardless of the 28 hand or
Yep.
36 handicap or down, the basics are in and around a little chip shot of this 17 yards, I think you said,
Yeah.
is obviously a little bit of flare in your left foot.
Yeah.
That
Wrist angle.
is really important.
Key.
Obviously, just nice and relaxed, but this shoulder takes it back to there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
And then
then
from there
rotate.
you rotate and you hit that release one
Right.
position.
So they're the things that people should look
They're
at.
the key points.
Yeah.
I love it. I love having a broadcaster on the video. Okay, he wraps it all up really well. That's fantastic. Right, we're going to go out to that back right pin now.
Yeah.
And what club would you use there? Because this is a shot that's quite interesting. I think a lot of people get the club selection wrong here.
How far is it?
That is 10, 20, that's about 30 yards.
Wouldn't have a clue.
You wouldn't have a clue. Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. Look, what,
I'm being honest with you, I mean,
that's
I
great.
could
I
play
love
it.
that. Now, let's try and work it out. What do you see between the ball and the pin?
Well,
What do you see?
it looks like it has to go right to left.
Yeah. So if we look
And
at the
there's-
first bit, it's dead flat,
Yeah.
slightly down. And then you have the shoulder off the mound on the left. It
Yeah.
goes left to right.
Yeah.
Okay, then it goes into a bit of an upslope.
Yeah.
And then it goes down slope quite heavily off the right.
Right, yeah,
So you are correct.
Yeah.
So, what would you be worried about with this shot? Let's say those strikes there were really good.
Yeah.
If you use that 54, what would you be worried about? What do you think might be a problem with a 54?
Well, I might duff it and then go nowhere.
If it's a longer swing.
Yeah, it's a longer swing, yeah. And obviously, if I don't get the right flight on it or the right line, I'm going to end up with
Yeah,
that white
way left,
flag
yeah, yeah,
way
yeah.
left, or
Yeah.
towards the two trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Well, I would be concerned about what the ball's doing. I wouldn't want spin on this shot. So if you would choose a 54, you would spin the ball
Yeah.
too much and it would get
Come
caught
up
in the
short.
slope.
Yeah.
Like all
You
day
want
long.
something to run it over the hill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So because of that, I'll just demonstrate. So this is a 56 I've got. So I'm going to hit a nice shot here. I'm going to hit a nice sort of technique. So great technique, but you can see the ball's died in that slope,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So it's never going up the slope. So that's an example of 10 out of 10 technique
Yeah.
and like 2 out of 10 IQ.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
you've got to be able to predict what the ball will do before it actually does it.
Yeah,
So I do not want that to happen. So I've got to use less loft. So I would be using, what would you think?
Well, yeah, I'll be good down to a wedge or a 9-iron.
I think a 9-iron is a good
Yeah.
call. Let's go 9-iron, okay?
Right.
Great ball flight. You see that flight?
Yeah.
Now, see, it's not sticking like mine. It's running out. And that's a great shot. I mean, if you played that shot,
I'd be absolutely delighted.
I'd be like, if I was playing with you and you did that in the first hole, I'd be going, wow, this guy's a player. Because look, that was such an intelligent shot,
Yeah.
wasn't it? That's what the first shot, which I hit, is what most golfers would do. You've played the clever shot there.
Right.
And it wasn't that difficult. Because you had the right club in your hand.
And that's the whole point, is getting the right loft
Yeah.
for the shot that you're
For the
trying
shot
to play.
you've got, but you've got to get aware of what's going on. Why did he use that shot? Well, we had the upslope at the end. Okay, and we've got green to work with. Let's use it.
What you've done in two different shots, the 17 yard and this is like 30 odd
Yeah.
yards that you're saying, but it's the technique. It's the same, isn't it?
Yes.
I think what people would do, they would change this.
Yeah.
The amateur would. I'd
Yeah.
be thinking I'll hit this in a little bit higher, then
Yeah.
I'd try to add loft to
Exactly.
it.
That's
and
a,
high.
that's a real key point. Is like what I'm trying to teach you here is one technique, one setup, exactly the same setup, and one swing, and you change the loft in your hand to change the ball speed. The swing
The
speed
difference.
wasn't that different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the distance it goes.
Because of the ball speed, basically the smash factor, how quickly it comes off the face.
Too far.
Yeah. I think the big one for you is just understanding that follow through. We're opening up here,
Yeah.
but you want to really feel like that club head just stays kind of knee height.
Okay.
It doesn't get released too high. Again, great ball flight. It's coming off. It's going to end up really close. And the great thing there, that actually wasn't a perfect strike.
That wasn't. No.
You hit that a touch heavy.
Yeah.
But you've hit it to what, 5 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. If you'd have hit it a little heavy with a 54, what do you think would have happened?
Well, I've got you that flag there.
Yeah. So the other lesson there is, as an imperfect strike with the correct club isn't that bad.
It's better. Yeah, you're better
Isn't it?
off.
Yeah.
Well, you've hit a perfect one.
Yeah.
For the club that you use.
Exactly.
And look at the distance.
Yeah. Oh, this is too easy now, Ray. Look, too easy. Look at those 3 shots. They're magnificent. And hopefully you understand there is only one club really for that pin.
Yeah.
And that's it. An 8 would probably get over the ridge, but it might have a bit too much juice. A wedge will struggle to get up there. And you see when you're doing this, if you can spend time at a practice area, we'll say, well, I haven't got a practice area like this. I know this is about as good as it gets. But even if you're playing on your golf course and if you're going out when it's quiet, and if you can just finish the hole and you have 5 minutes, just have a few chips around it before you move to the next hole and figure out which clubs to use where, that would be like absolutely fantastic practice. Now that went a little bit higher, I didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
Now that happened because you over-released it. So this release 1 position, you went to sort of a 1.5, nearly 2.
Ah, right.
So what happened, you turned that 9-iron into a pitching wedge, you see? And we know the wedges are on clubs.
So
with the loft,
yeah,
the dynamic loft, because you've released it too much,
it's come up.
you see, it's gone up the face a bit. That's why that follow through is important to keep the
Oh,
flight
okay,
down.
keeps the flight down.
Yes, yeah.
There's another great
Yeah.
point.
That's perfect. You feel that?
Yeah, you can hear it as well, can you?
That's a great shot. I mean, you get in. Yeah, you're good. You're a little firm, but that was perfect. You see that flight? That's good.
Is that the flight I'm looking
Oh,
for?
so
Yeah.
much better.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, but I'll show you how important. I'll just use your 9-iron. It's right there. You can see if I just over-release it a bit, it doesn't take much, does it? If I just over-release it, can you see that's come out soft?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because you've opened, it's turned into a wedge.
Exactly. Now, if I hit this, just look at the difference in the flight this time. You see the difference?
Yeah,
You see that ball wants to chase out and run out?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was just that little bit of impact. And they're the margins we're looking for, yeah? And it's getting that awareness of that, which is really important. And the steeper the slope, I might get the only slight change I might make if it's going to play a 2-tier green or it's really, really kind of slow, I would see, I'll nip that a bit more.
Yeah.
And that's definitely getting the ball going low enough and running out. You see, it's always running, it's still going.
Well, yeah.
It's still going. But listen, that was good, Ray. I like that. So, should we now get into some softer shots?
Yep.
Okay, good stuff.
I'd be delighted with
I
that.
thought you played that quite nicely. Yeah, nice. Good. And the bad one here would be
But
what?
I'd see from there, though, I don't know what I'm releasing there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm just hitting the shot. I've got no understanding of, on the way through, what I'm doing in relation to, other than just hitting the ball.
Sure, okay, one more.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Hit the ground first.
Way before it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get kind of stuck on it. Okay, right, some good bits in there. I mean, some really good bits. So what we're doing for this shot for you, we're now allowing your wrist to sit kind of where they were at the beginning. Because you want the club to sit a little bit more down this way. You want a bit more angle in the wrist here because that's going to give you a little bit of setting.
Yeah.
The key is getting the club into a toe-up position at the top of the backswing, and you're not far from that. You actually do that quite well.
Okay.
The swing plane, I still want you to feel like it's more in front of you, but obviously you've got more turn here. So the longer the swing gets, the club obviously will start working around your body more, but it's always in relation to where your chest is.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
But yeah, the big thing for you is you get into a nice position, but you kind of go this way.
Yes.
And you get stuck. So you look a bit like this.
Yep.
Okay, in here, all right?
I'll do that a bit.
Yeah, okay. So what I want you to do is get to that backswing, maybe a little bit more length, and I want you to be much softer in transition so the club can start to fall this way. And it's the thumb pressure I think you can get better. If you can just relax the thumbs and let the club, see, I'm doing that. I'm not thinking about it. The club is releasing because I'm not squeezing the handle.
That's what I do. I pull it.
You pull at it, yeah.
Pull it.
So you got to feel like it goes this way. You see that? So I'm letting
It goes that way.
Yeah, but I'm not consciously doing that. Like I'm just letting go, look, and it's happening. I'm letting my thumbs come off the grip. Okay, so basically you've got to get really light thumbs, and then the club can start to fall. And the key for you is as it starts to fall, right? As it starts to fall, can you see how my chest then opens up?
Yeah.
So I keep turning to face the target.
See with your left leg there when you go through.
Yeah.
Is that where you've got to use it as a pillar if you like it to stop?
Yeah, the left leg will straighten.
Yeah.
As the hip, well, that's why it's important this left foot now wants to open up more. Okay, because when you open the foot up more, it's going to allow the hip to sit a bit more in external rotation, and you can see how free it goes then through the ball. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right round here. Whereas you're a bit
Yeah.
underneath it. But a big lesson here is just getting the smoothness. And you've got a 54 here, so you've got to swing smoothly. You've got to relax. You've got to chill a bit for this shot.
See, I think because of the distance of the shot, I've got to swing a bit quicker. That's one of my faults.
So what you do then is you get longer in the swing, which then allows you to be smoother.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay. So if you could,
I'll go through
there,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. There you go.
Yeah.
That's good. And don't cheat it. Just do your normal grip pressure. You tell me, is that you normally?
Yeah,
You're on
that's
the
me
third
normally,
Oldham monthly medal. That's
Yeah,
you
yeah.
there, right there, yeah? Right, it's not bad. I want it to be like 3 out of 10. That's 3 out of 10 now. You're
Is it?
probably about a 6.
God.
How's that feel?
Yeah.
And if you can maintain that grip pressure throughout, the club's going to want to. It's going to want to swing itself. Right. So look, let's take it back. Let's turn this right side a bit more. That's good. Lighten the thumbs here, so the club can just fall this way, and then you move around to here.
Yeah, I'm finding that I struggle with the thumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take them barely off the grid. Just barely touching it, and just let the club fall. See, that's better. Now you can move a bit more than that, but that was better. Let me move you this time properly.
Okay.
Right, how's that?
Not bad at
I
all.
mean, look how lovely that came off.
Yeah.
Well, what feels different there?
Oh, I'm miles round further.
Yeah.
Round.
Yeah.
But it's the commitment as well down to letting that drop.
Yeah.
And then
Which is much easier when you get sufficient length to
see, I've
swing.
been so tight in the grip.
So
See,
what
like
I
that be there.
Yeah. So you've got to get key points: grip pressure, length of swing, leave the pressure out the handle. Don't understand what I mean? Don't pull the pressure. Just let it fall, and then as you strike the ball, and even as you're watching the ball go through the air, I still want you turning.
Is there a chance that just for some amateurs that if they go too far that they decel?
Yeah, there is a chance. Yeah,
For what's
there is a chance, but in my experience, that's very few golfers.
is it?
Most people in short game are way too short,
Right.
and then they go at it.
So it's
Well,
there.
it's different, but mainly most people get short and then they panic,
Yeah. Okay.
particularly when they want to hit a higher shot, because the mind doesn't really allow them to go very far back. Whereas you got to train the opposite.
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, that's lovely. That is really good. That's really good. Let's figure out why it's going to the right. That was really nice. Now, just your start line here. The break at the end is going to go about 1 yard, 2 yards left to right. So you see the ball on the left.
Yep.
That's your aim, okay?
How's that or
Yeah,
not?
that's good there. No, we're nice there. That's great. That's so good. Look at that. Hit the pin. There we go.
I would never have swung it that far. For
No.
that.
No, exactly. But you see how soft that came off?
Yeah.
So it takes a bit of courage, doesn't it? But it's like all things. You've got to do some practice. You've got to understand, actually, that's fine. That comes off better.
See, I would have thought that was going to go twice the distance from that.
But for you, you've got a good golfing instinct. You know, you've got a great feel for the game. If you do a longer backswing, what do you think your mind's saying now?
It will slow down.
Just be smooth.
Yeah.
It's not saying stop or slow down. And in reality, you're still accelerating. It's a smooth, continuous pace. Right? And with a 60, this is really hard because it's going to tend to go up the face too much.
Yeah.
You end up hitting the 60 too much. But if you've got a short backswing, what do you think your mind's going to say?
Got to go quick, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh, we've hit the pin twice in a row. Here we go, Ray. Come on, 3 times in a row. Hat trick coming up.
So it's the height as well I'm getting.
Yeah, he's that's a 54, remember?
Yeah, but if I went at 60.
But you wouldn't be able to control the 60, would you? It'd just be so hard to get the distance. That's so good. That is so good. Look at that. The control on that shot now. Right, okay, let's just work through some different scenarios. So let's give you this lie as it lies.
Where are we going?
We're going to go for that pin there, just beyond that pine cone.
The first, well, the first of the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So the process I want to use from now on is, what's the lie like?
Yep.
As in, like, does it allow you to hit high or low? That's pretty much okay. You could hit both there, but probably prefer a low shot. It's not sitting brilliantly. And then what do you see in terms of slopes?
Yeah. So for me, it looks righty left.
Yeah.
Initially, it goes down and then back up.
And you can see that in the shade, can't you?
Yeah,
light grass, and then it goes darker
light,
grass, yeah. So where do you think a nice landing spot would be for you here?
I wouldn't know.
Okay, right.
Being honest about it.
Okay, great. Now this is where you've got to start. You've got to start predicting. So my mind goes like this. It goes, if I land it there with that spin, what will it do? If I land it there, what will it do?
Yep.
And I'm seeing all these different options.
Yep.
And it happens in about 2 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So I've got to now look at that and think, well, again, I'm worried about that ball landing into the slope and stopping. Don't particularly want to land it on a downslope, although a downslope is going to bump it forward, and which might help it go up the slope. But ideally, you try and land it on the flattest part possible, which is kind of at the bottom there, which would be about 50% onto the green. So with that in mind, I think you've got...
48.
I was going to say that, absolutely, 48. Well done.
Okay.
Now, 48 is going to run up the slope, but it's not going to have too much check. Equally, it's not going to be like a 9-iron, which would run too much.
Okay.
So 48 is perfect, and it's just you release one chip and run.
Just chip and run.
Yeah.
So high hand, for me, high hand, yeah.
And do you have a practice swing normally when you're out there playing?
Yeah.
And when you do your practice swing, try and focus on what you want the ball to do. Sounds really obvious, but you've got to try and make your practice swing an exact replica about the shot
Of
you're
your
trying
shot
to
you're
play.
gonna
Most people don't do that. They just have a
They
practice.
just have a little, yeah.
So try and
I'm
get
looking
really
at-
focused on...
I'm looking at where I want to try to land it.
Yes. Still look at the pin, but focus
No,
on
I'm
the
looking
angle
at
on
an
that,
area up there somewhere. So I want to get that bit right. Oh, too high.
Well, it's ended up pin high, actually. It was a little bit high, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that tells us the follow-through was a little bit long. Your chest didn't open up enough and get that shorter follow-through. But again, going back to what we talked about earlier, right club.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but the right club isn't ever usually that far away. That's it, more there.
Okay.
Don't aim way right here. The break's only about a yard, so you don't need to go too far right. That's a much better ball flight.
Yeah.
And that's a great shot. That's a great shot. There you go, that's up and down. And this would be brilliant practice. Hit one shot, learn from it and play the next, but then move on.
That short, I'd be hitting that long.
Yeah. So you were part of that unbelievably amazing Liverpool team in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Particularly sort of back end of the 80s. I mean, why do you think that team was so incredible?
Winners, attitude, commitment, the focus that they had, not on a daily basis, because training was never that tough, but when it came to match day, these boys were
Just switched on.
so switched on. They knew exactly what was required, and they had what I think any good athlete's got is this presence of mind when they're doing something. How consistent you've got to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and when you're playing against the opposition, you've got to be better than them in most departments if you've got to win. Same as in any sport. Look at golf. You know, when you're watching the golfers and you look at the best drivers, but are they the best iron players, are the best chippers, are the best putters? And when you've got all the ingredients, that's when you've got the real talented, haven't you, players? And that's the same in
And
football.
that team to just know each other so well. Like you all knew what each other was doing, and it was so well organised. And
It's the only team that I was at, and I'm often asked questions like this. It's the only team in my 20 years as a pro, and I was at Liverpool for 5 years, and it wasn't a case of if you were going to win, and it was a case of how many you're going to win by. And that wasn't arrogance, that was just how good they were.
Yeah.
These players knew each other inside out, they knew what their strengths were, they knew what their weaknesses were, but they looked out for each other.
Yeah.
Every time you went out to play, you know that another player had your back going into the game. The coaching was very simple, they didn't overcomplicate it because they knew, you know, the players that they had and how good they were. But we had match winners, we had game changers. You know, I'm often asked who's the best player you played with. John Barnes, it's an easy one in many respects because of the flair, the ability. But another player, and I'm glad that he's on the way to recovery at the moment, he was actually my old roommate. Well, I was his lackey. I used to go and have to get his chocolate, make his tea, and one thing and another was Alan Hansen.
Yeah.
And what a great golfer.
centre-back.
He was unbelievable, but a great golfer as well.
golfer.
He loves his golf more than I think he enjoyed his professional career.
Do you know what? There's a lot of footballers I coach who actually, I think, are the same way.
You know, a lot of them would rather be golfers than footballers.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because you know, it's such an individual sport, golf, isn't it, in many respects, compared to when you're playing. That's why the pro golfers love the Ryder Cup and teams. There's that team bonding together. Whereas we had that every day as
yeah.
footballers. Whereas we want the intimacy of being on your own
Yeah.
out there practicing and playing. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a great bond between the golfers and the footballers.
Yeah.
You know, and both of them would like to, you know, flip it the other way. A lot of golfers would love to be
Why do you
footballers.
think so many footballers go on to be like good golfers? You know, your kind of level.
I
Is
think
it because of the mindset and
I think
elite
it's
mindset?
I think it's hand-eye coordination. I think
Yeah.
it's very very useful. You know, when you're playing football, you're always like moving into positions. And you say that in golf, you know, when you kick a ball, it's very similar to the way
Yeah,
that you
sure,
rotate
yeah,
through
you
when
move,
you
yeah.
through the shot. So we have got that to look at. But I think it's just the freedom when lads go out to play golf. They
Yeah.
love it. They love the fact that they're out there and. You know, when you hit one good shot in golf, it brings you back, doesn't it? I mean,
It's a great
when you
thing
think
about the game, isn't it?
it's
You
amazing.
can shot as good as Tiger can.
Well, I'm not going to go that far, but there's occasions when you hit one great shot and you think, that's it, I'm back. And it does, it grips you, you know, it takes over. It certainly took over my life for a spell where I just wanted to practice and play.
Did you play back when you were in the 80s?
We weren't allowed to. It was an amazing stat because the lads who lived in Liverpool and on the Wirral didn't get to play that much golf. But funnily enough, the lads that lived in Southport, where you had Formby, you had S&A, you had Hillside, you had Birkdale, they seem to be playing quite a bit. So, yeah, we should have moved to Southport. I think would have been the easier call.
Whose decision was that? Because Kenny
No,
Dalglish, he's a good golfer. He loves his golf, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, I think him and Alan Hansen were the pair, and them two were very good together as pairs when they played the golf. No, I'm only having a laugh about it. You were encouraged to play because you want to be relaxed in between matches.
You got
you know,
high pressure on the Saturday, and you want to be
and
off. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, there's a lot of golfers who go and have a little game of football, don't they, in
Yeah,
between as well. So I think it just takes you away from your own environment. It settles you down. You know, you take your focus away from the competitive edge of playing the sport that you're involved in, and you relax a little bit, and that's what golf does.
And your career of Ireland was fantastic as well. And would you say that goal you scored against Italy in the '94 World Cup was your favourite goal?
No, it wasn't. It was the biggest. There's no doubt. Listen, the biggest competition you can play in football is the World Cup. There's nothing bigger. You know, people talk about Champions League. For me, representing your country, playing at the World Cup is an exceptional experience. But I scored against England in 1988. It was the first. It was the Euros. It was the first time we'd ever qualified for a major tournament. Going into the match against England, no one gave us a chance. And that was the people in Ireland as well. Even people in Ireland didn't think we could beat them, but we did. Jack Charlton, God rest him, was our manager. Jack plotted the downfall to get us the victory, and I was fortunate to score the winning goal. And it wasn't only that, Dan, it was my first goal. I mean, I played quite a few games. I wasn't noted for scoring goals.
Saved it for that moment.
Yeah, it seemed everything just aligned at that moment. We beat England, won our first ever game at a major tournament, and I was fortunate enough to score the goal.
Yeah. Did you go to the '90 World Cup?
90 World Cup. I was one of the story there is we got to the last eight. We lost to Italy in the quarterfinals. But the game before that, we played against Romania and we beat them on penalties. And the strange thing was I hadn't taken a penalty professionally in my career.
Yeah.
And everyone says you should practice penalties. It makes you better. I'd never taken any penalties. I wasn't noted for taking them. I wasn't, someone was going to go and take a penalty. But on that day, decided to put my hand up. And when I scored, I can tell you, there was no joy. It was pure relief. Pure relief. And I remember looking round at the lads who hadn't taken one, and you could see the blood draining from their faces.
I think O'Leary scored.
He scored the winner. Yeah. It started off with Kevin Sheedy took the first. I took the second. Andy Townsend took the third. Tony Cascarino, who I had to force into taking the fourth penalty because we were struggling for numbers. And then David O'Leary, when we seen the lineup, I think even our players said we've got no chance because none of us were noted for taking penalties apart from Kevin and Andy. But what an experience it was in 1990. First ever World Cup to get to the last day. Yeah, well, I mean, we all look back with great love from things that happened in the past. For us, just to get to the World Cup was unbelievable for a small country. But to get to the last day, it was exceptional. Yeah.
That's right. Let's play the next shot.
That one there.
That one there. So again, what do you see here?
I see downhill, left to right.
So I'd be worried about my ball sliding off to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So
I'd be aiming about 8 foot, 10 foot left.
And what club would you normally use? What sort of flight do you think you'd go for here normally?
Maybe 48.
Is this you trying to make the right decision, or is it you what you would have been last
No,
week?
if I was last week, I would have just hit a 54.
Okay, right. And I think that was the problem because you would fly it too high, and you're going into it's a little bit of sort of an upslope, but it's going to kick. The higher the landing trajectory here, the more it's going to kick to the right.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So if you can keep it lower, it's not going to kick to the right as much.
Why is that?
Because of the slope here. So as it comes in, it's going to deflect more. If it's going in lower, it's going to skip more this way.
Okay.
So really you want a slightly lower ball flight here. So I would be looking at where I want to land it first, and then from where I want to land it, I'm going to choose my club. So the perfect landing spot here is about here.
So would that be a 9-9 then?
I think a 9, the problem with a 9 is it's downhill the last 10 feet.
Yeah.
I think that 48 is a good call up. Yeah, here's your spot. Chip and run, release 1, okay? Keeping it low, want a little bit of check, but then it's just going to feed down. I mean, again, that's so good. I mean, I think it was a 7 out of 10 strike.
Yeah, it wasn't
But
good.
look, you've hit it to a foot.
Yeah.
What do you see here?
Well, downhill, right to left,
Yeah, it's quick.
really quick. I mean, I'd be struggling where, just 3-4 paces onto the green.
You'd say, what, you're going to go low again?
A little bit higher.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think we're going to be, let's try and be a bit more ambitious here. And let's play the shot we did with a 54, do a release 2, and we're going to see if we can land it almost onto the flat part of the green here with that nice soft release.
All right.
Okay.
Not everyone would know your 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
So where's your 2?
So your 2 is at the belt buckle. So this is the 1. That's the first shot we did.
Yeah.
The 2 is where it goes just after impact at the belt buckle.
Okay.
So basically it's the middle section of the bounce working this way.
So it's the butt of the club comes
Yeah,
back.
where that is at that moment in time, and then you open up this way. And then you got a 3, which we might get to do in the bunker now.
Yeah,
We're going
and
to go
that's
that
back.
way.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay,
Right,
we'll use more.
okay.
Depend on the light, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's only beautiful. How good was that? That's the shot. Now, you could have played the lower one and used the slope,
Yeah.
but look how quickly that stopped.
Yeah.
Actually, if you're going to play it as good as that, move your land spot on another yard. Yeah? Just got to move a little bit more, yeah? Just
Move where?
Both sides.
So did I just do it
Bit
with my hands?
short. No, you didn't. You moved well, but you just didn't move enough, right?
Oh, right,
So
okay.
you've got to get the right side working a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Get it back. Be a bit braver.
Okay.
I mean, we've been picky here. It needs to 6 or 7 feet, but come on, just a little bit more chest turn. That was a better length, wasn't it? I just hate missing chips low, though. Yeah, come on.
What?
I don't like missing chips on that low side. I want to be up the high side.
Oh,
let
right,
it
sorry.
filter down.
Okay.
You never hold it on the low side.
So again, you never hold it. Oh, hold it.
Because the ball's always
The
going
ball's
that way.
going away,
And I want you
yes,
thinking about holding it, yeah?
Yeah.
Bring it in from the high side. That's the shot. That's the shot. That's the one. See what I mean? So it's got a chance of going in. The spin was there. You could see on the Pix balls there, they were spinning like crazy. That is the perfect shot. So it came out, but it was scruffy, wasn't it?
I fit that
You
about
fit that
4
foot,
inches.
probably a foot behind it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but again, a bit to the right as well.
That'd be the shot there.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not?
No, it's not bad. But there's too many key things you're missing.
Yeah.
Right, down this side. Right, so I quite like the width of your stance, but you're not dynamic enough at all. You're not pressing this way.
All right.
So you're not going this way with lower body, and for this sort of lie, you want to be a little bit tilted back with the upper body. So you want to look a bit more like this.
Yeah, okay.
You're basically just totally 50-50, and your face is absolutely square as well.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a killer for you because that leading edge is wanting to sort of dig in too much.
Okay.
And a little bit the themes from other short game shots, you don't open up through the ball anywhere near enough. All right?
Yeah.
So they're your 3 main points. Okay. Pelvis position, club face position, and you turn through
Pelvis
the ball.
here, yeah?
Yeah. Because you do sway a bit. No. Because you start with your weight like this, you look a bit like this. You see? Now I'd be more like this.
Oh, God, yeah.
See the difference?
Yeah.
Now from that position, I'm not going that way.
No.
I'm not going that way, which means I can just focus on just opening up round a lot more. Okay,
So I do that and I
you're swaying off it.
swaying off it.
That's why you're going to all sorts of contact. So I'm going to put some markings here in the sand. Your alignment's quite good with your feet. You don't aim way left, which is a good thing. A lot of people do that. So I'm going to put the club face on that line and feet in there. And if you just literally go right in those footprints and put the club on that line, I think you should feel a bit different. I might just have to move the pelvis a bit. Get this left foot.
So where that club face is aiming, to me,
It's going to feel way
I'm
right.
going over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
Because what happens here, your hands are now nice and low. You probably feel a bit further away now as well.
Yeah.
So when the club gets lower, the loft starts aiming to the left.
Okay.
The grooves don't look like that, but the loft does.
All right.
So if I was to put a magnet on that club face,
Yeah.
can you see how it aims left with the
Right,
grooves?
okay, yeah.
So I know it looks open, but it's not.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
That pelvis is better. It's more that way, yeah?
Oh, right, okay.
That's good. Right, back swing's fine. I don't want to change your back swing too much, but just make sure your weight stays here.
Yeah.
Right? Now as you come down, release, and then it's round, right round here. Does that feel different?
Call the ambulance.
If you can get
Infraction
somewhere
for a
like
week.
this, that's why I'm holding you here to stretch. If you can get there,
Jeez, oh.
that is going to change it, all right?
Right.
Okay, still moved quite a lot with your...
Where did I move, sorry?
Your legs are just sort of driven a bit hard. I want you to think about your chest turning around your... You might just move slightly with the footprints there.
So did
So,
that?
you went this way,
Uh-huh.
and I want you to go... Let me hit one and show you.
Yeah, yeah.
Just watch my leg action. So this is you,
Yep.
all right? This is me, watch my legs.
Oh, your legs are hardly moving.
See, so it's there,
Yeah.
around, okay? But these, yeah, don't move much from the dress.
Yeah, don't move
Yeah.
much. Oh, right, I thought, yeah.
It's not that they're totally stationary, by the way. You'll see my hip moves back,
Yeah.
and this moves back. They're going like this, but just not doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So they're doing more that.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Much better bunker shot. Much better bunker shot. There's a couple of things with the club face we'll talk about, but that was good. Proper bunker shot. That's a proper bunker shot. Height and spin. How did that feel? Less
Yeah,
going on?
Yeah, less going on.
Yeah.
You know, most of my swings that you've seen so far, I'm quite handsy,
Yeah.
and I think that's one of my problems.
Yeah.
I think.
We want a bit of hands in terms of the release, but I want you to really feel like it's... See how my body takes it around. I
Yeah.
talk about putting it in the holster. It's
Yeah.
the turn that puts it in the holster, not your hand. You're not driving your hands into it.
There's where I want to be, yeah.
Yeah, and that knee just kicks in, right knee in a bit as well. But really feels downward, the
Yeah,
pressure.
yeah.
That looks fantastic. Very good. Much better, Ray. Oh, that nearly went in. There we go. Proper bunker shot. One bounce spin. I don't even need to watch. That was fantastic.
So in the air, there's a chance.
This is more than a chance, Ray. You've just got to work on these basics. So when you get in a bunker next time,
Yeah.
you are just not reverting. You are going to commit to opening that face up. You're going to commit to getting the pressure down and the pelvis forward, and that turn.
Yeah, the turn's one for me. No. I didn't turn, did I?
Face it, and face is wrapped over. Like that bunker shot's fine. It's what I would call a chunk and run.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you've taken lots of sand, and it's what I would play if I wanted the ball to run out. So you've sent the sand forward this way. So what you haven't is kept the loft on and turned around enough into the holster.
So I've not got it. So there,
Yeah,
and then round
yeah, that's it.
here.
And then in there.
All right.
That's
Like
it.
that?
You got it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Pelvis.
How's that?
Yeah, lovely. Good bunker shot. That'll stop. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Love that.
And then it's just a touch of practice. You see the spin there? And it's just a touch of practice, just to kind of
I
feel.
mean, I don't even. I wouldn't call them. See, I'd be looking at that line. I'd be thinking to myself.
Yeah, I'm not giving you great lies.
No, I'd be thinking,
Yeah.
oh God, I hope I get
Yeah.
this out.
Yeah. Oh, magnificent. You see the spin on it? See the spin? Go,
So you can see them. I'm just glad to see
well,
them.
the great thing about these balls is they do show you the spin,
Do they?
because you can see the picks going crazy. Yeah, beautiful. Well done, Ray. All right. I'm happy with that. We shall leave it there.
Tim, I hope you got the last couple.
All right, listen, great work today.
Cheers, pal.
Well
Love it,
done.
love it.
Really good fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's good. So we got some good key points for the chip and run.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah,
you've got
I've
those.
that,
It's off
yeah.
the landing shot. We've got a
That's
little bit more.
important for me.
That's the key one for
Key
you.
one for me, yeah.
That was the key bit, wasn't it?
There, and then it's left shoulder back.
Yeah.
That's there, right place there.
Yeah, that's it. And then from there,
there
you
it's
understand how you
turn.
went through it. Yeah.
And
Soft
low-
landing shots were great. Yeah, and a low finish. Yeah, the soft landing shots were great. But also we got into, you know, thinking.
Yeah.
And I think if you could start to think a bit more about what you want your ball to do, that'll reflect better in club choice and landing spot.
Yeah.
So that you know you can work on that quite a lot back at your club. And then bunker play, I mean, total transformation there.
Yeah.
So that was good. So listen, I hope you can take that on board and work on it.
Well,
the
I'll
rest of the
certainly let you
season.
know. I'll be in the comment section telling you it's working on.
All right.
I'll watch all
Great
your
work.
videos.
All right, brilliant. Cheers, Ray. Good stuff.